Oh yeah, absolutely perfect now. Look at that, dead silent. If you've been following my Jon Boat builds or have seen any on the internet, a lot of people suggest that to brace your custom flooring, you use foam boards. This is a great way to give support to thinner plywood and also add a little bit of extra flotation into your boat, just in the case of taking on water. However, one of the downsides of this is that when you walk on the wood, it makes a really annoying creaking sound with the styrofoam boards, basically compressing and squeezing between the boards and the floor. For today's video, I'm gonna show you how I fix this for about 10 bucks and 10 minutes of your time. Let's get started. So if you've been following my builds, you'll know that one of the materials that I really like using around the boat is velcro. This stuff is extremely strong and works in a variety of applications around the boat. For example, this top decking here is secured with velcro. There are aluminum braces that run horizontally down the boat, and then along those braces are strips of velcro which attach onto the wood. This leaves a very secure mounting solution for the flooring, but it also makes it really removable. So what I'm hoping is that if I line essentially a bunch of areas along the foam board with velcro and then place that down onto the boat, once the floor goes down, the foam boards aren't going to be allowed to shift around. So in preparation for this, I took a piece of velcro. It has adhesive on both sides. I cut it down into these little squares. I'm going to take these squares, line them up and down the foam board here, flip it over, lay the flooring back down, and test it out to see if it gets rid of the squeak. All right, and that makes 8. So now I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. All right, well, unfortunately, the velcro idea didn't work. My next idea, just to test out a theory, is I wanna take one of these foam boards and cut them down into smaller pieces and then reinstall it and see if it's still creaking. I mean, to be honest, it is quieter. Maybe I just needed not as thick foam board. All right, now I want to try something else. Okay, so I have this indoor-outdoor carpet scrap. I want to see if this is a friction thing or a compression thing. If I add a layer of material between the bottom of the floor and the foam, will that stop the creaking because it's the floor and the foam like rubbing on each other, or is it the crushing force of the foam that's making the creaking sound? So first I'm gonna start by putting this on top of the foam, and then I'm gonna try putting it under the foam and see if either of the options fix it. Okay, that's almost silent now. Actually, that is silent. Okay, that's surprising actually. I kind of thought it was going to be the underside that needed it, but it seems like it's the friction of the flooring on top of the foam rubbing on each other. So that actually makes this fix super easy. All right, well, I was really hoping to come up with a low-cost solution on fixing this for you guys, and I think we've succeeded. By adding a piece of just simple indoor-outdoor carpet, completely eliminated the squeak. You can buy this at the hardware store, like a Lowe's or Menards or something like that. For a 6-foot piece, you're looking at less than $10. So to cover your flooring foam with this before your floor goes down will completely eliminate the problem. Now, the nice thing is that this is actually going to be on top of the foam, so it's not going to affect drainage or anything like that. This is also indoor-outdoor carpet, so it shouldn't hold and retain moisture. Alternatively, you could carpet the bottom of your floor or just put some strips along where the floor is going to meet the foam board as well. I'm just going to attach them wherever I can and see if that just eliminates it completely. I'm going to throw the other foam board back in here, and then we'll just see what it looks like. Once I got the carpet in place, then I'll get the flooring in place and we'll give it one last test to make sure this fix is the way to go. Now, I just happen to have a bunch of carpet straps on hand. You really could just cut one sheet to lay it down on top, which would work pretty well too. I also add a little extra foam on the edge here. I thought that would be good to kind of help with the front of the floor there. All right, so I'm just gonna lay this all in place, put the floor down, give this a try. If this works, I have some spray adhesive that I'll just spray on top of the foam board to lay the carpet down just so it all kind of stays in place. And that'll pretty much fix it. So let's go ahead and lay this down and see how it works. Oh yeah, this is like dead silent now, listen. That's perfect, it completely fixed it. That is an absolutely low-cost solution for completely silencing your foam board creaking under your Jon Boat floor if that's an issue you're running into. It's a running joke around here that my wife hates how much of this random crap and scrap I keep around. And I tell her, you never know when you're gonna need it. And there you go. All this random carpet scrap I've had is gonna come in really handy right now. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just use some of this contact adhesive. This is 3M Super 90. I'll have a link in the description for this, probably also the carpet and anything else that I've been using, just so you guys can find it. And I'm gonna spray this down, lay the carpet on top, put the floor on top, and this will pretty much be done. I do need to trim this piece of carpet though, because it's a little long and it's poking out the one side. So let me trim this off a little bit. And then just trim the length slightly. There we go, perfect. All right, so if you've never used Super 90 before, you just spray it down, let it tack up, and then you join your pieces. You're also supposed to spray a little bit on the object that you're gonna be attaching it to as well. All right, now I'm gonna spray it on the back side of the carpet. All right, let's get this floor down to kind of lock it all in place, and this will be done. Oh yeah, absolutely perfect now. Look at that, dead silent. Just walking around the floor, all edges of it, feels nice and solid on the edge now. Completely silent. All right guys, well there you go. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to let me know by dropping a comment below. This is a new idea I've not done before. I'm really happy to see that it worked. I'd like to know what you guys thought. Did you have any other ideas that might work in place of this? I've not really had to deal with the squeaky foam issue before. I think it's because I may have used a little too thick of foam for the distance between the hull and the floor. I'm not really sure, but I'm happy to see that it was a really easy fix with a very cheap material. I kind of took a break from other projects I was working on to get this done because I had to climb in the boat and I heard the squeaking, and that just isn't something I wanted to deal with. I also got some comments before from people asking about how to deal with the squeak, so I wanted to put this out there for you guys. Coming up soon, I'm going to be doing a really big wiring and electronics installation video. I'm going to be using a switch panel, probably building a switch panel box and wiring up a bunch of things around the boat, like your bow light, trolling motor, bilge pump, things like that. Also, I'm working on a pretty cool anchor video. I'm going to be using this anchor winch and anchor lock that came with the boat. I want to see if I can install it in a way that's a little bit cleaner and looks a little bit better. I'm also being really mindful of weight balance on the boat. I'm going to be basically offsetting all of the heavy items in the boat, like the battery, the gas tank, the anchor, offset to the side that I'm going to be sitting on. So I'm really hoping to get a really balanced feel on the water. I don't want everything either on the center line or on my side when I'm going to be kind of sitting off to the side of center. And I think it's really going to make this boat work very well. All right guys, well like I said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to let me know by hitting that like button. If you have any suggestions on how I could have done this better or if it worked for you, definitely drop me a comment below. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see new videos, and thanks for watching.